Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm over here. Thanks for joining me, if you are indeed joining me. What's up over here? What the hell is going on? Okay, so maybe you saw the promo, maybe you're reading the description, and we're putting on brand new heads for the first time in a long time. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, tell me where you're watching from. I'm in Globe, Arizona. 100 miles east of Phoenix, up in the mountains. Originally from Los Angeles. Where are you? And let's talk first. Well, for those of you that are not drummers, let me go over here. For those of you who are not drummers, stay tuned, because after I put the last 3 heads on, and I'm going to have people help me decide which of the 4, I thought there were 3, but there's 4 snare drum heads to choose from. So I'll go through that in a minute. You can all help me decide. But for you non-drummers, I'm going to play a little bit. I don't know if you'll like it. I don't know if I'll like it. But I'm going to put these to the test. I've not even hit them with a stick yet. And I've got this to put on, and then you'll help me choose this. And I'll just kind of talk a little bit while we're doing that about Drumheads, about music, about drumming, about the new Drum Talk TV membership site, about interviews coming up, which I'll get to in just a moment. So first, let me go to our page, which I was at, and that way I can pull it up and see you and see your comments. So please chime in. Get this all adjusted here. Chime in. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you are a drummer, go ahead and tell us what kind of music do you play and what kind of drum heads do you like to use. I'll tell you my story. I'm going to put these on, then we're going to tune everything up real quickly, which I can do really quickly. And let's have some fun talking about this stuff. So go ahead, chime in to the comments. Great Britain, Carrie, never heard of it. Sounds like sounds pretty great. Just kidding. That's great. I mean, no pun intended. Awesome. Thank you so much for chiming in. So it's about 8:15 there at night. Thank you for taking your Sunday evening to spend a little bit of it with me. And I got so much to talk about, so please hang out for a while. I got a lot to talk about along with this stuff. Some of it's in the comments, but just trying to get it to open up full screen. So we'll get through. There we go, so I can see comments. Awesome. So let's talk about first, before I do this, the interviews coming up. Producer Steven Shinder is going to pop those. Yeah, there is a ripple over here because it's not tuned up yet. Steve's going to pop our interview list of what we've got so far for the rest of the year coming up. And we've got more than what you'll see, and he'll pin that to the top. There's some fun stuff we're working on, some other things that we're just still scheduling. And some of these things on the list that Steve's going to pop in there say Yes Shift. So Steve and I do another show outside of Drum Talk TV, but we simulcast it on the Drum Talk TV Facebook page. It's called Yes Shift. And it started out to be just about the band Yes, but it reaches out a little further now. We talk about the periphery, anybody related remotely to the band Yes, whether they're producers, album art, people. We did a documentary on Roger Dean's Exhibit that just came out recently. So you'll see some of those. And we had Trevor Rabin on recently. We've had Steve Hackett. We've had Steve Howe. We had Bill Bruford on both shows. So it's fun stuff. So Steve, go ahead and pop that in there. I'll read them off because I know some of the people. I just don't have them memorized. One person that's not on the list that just needs to pick a new date is Dave Northrup. I met Dave when he played with Oak Ridge Boys. Then he played with Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, Vinny Appice, one of his first bands, Rick Derringer. And so we'll catch up with him, see what he's up to as well. And let's go ahead. I want to make sure Steve hears me ask him to pop in the list. So I'm going to do that right here. Hi, Steve. I don't know if you heard me, but please pop in the interview list and pin it. All right. So I'll read that off in a moment, and you can certainly help yourself to that. So, snare drum heads. Let me pick up this. I got 4 snare drum heads, and you're going to help me pick which one to try. Although, actually 3, because one of them is, I'll show you. One of them is a modern vintage, which I already have on my small jazz kit, which is across the room. And I'll be doing some new videos on that like real soon, within a day or two. And then I got a couple others. So we'll get to that. First, let's put these two heads on. Then I'm going to tune everything and we'll test drive it. And I'll check over there. I'm sorry that I have my back to you. I couldn't figure out a different way to do this. Hopefully I won't turn the mic off by doing this like I've done before. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me tighten this. All right, cool. I think we're good. So let's grab that head. So this is I bet it goes there. Yes, it does. How about that? It's like a puzzle. It's my first time doing this. Actually, it's my first time doing this in a long time. So I want to preface this by saying I might do things a little differently than you do them. Really? In music? What? Yeah. There's no wrong way to tune drum heads. We posted this brilliant drummer the other day, Czar, and people are banging on him in the comments saying that it sounded like shit and he's got to learn how to tune. And I thought it sounded great. So just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it sucks. I got to put this ring down. So have an open mind. If you don't like it, that's okay. Don't have to be a D word about it. Wow, this is barely fitting. How interesting. Bear with me. All right. Okay. The first one was the bass drum. I don't really enjoy changing bass drum heads, to tell you the truth. However, it sounds great. So we'll get to that. That's the first time I actually hit it, other than just like boom, boom with my hand. So let's put this here. We'll tune that up in just a minute. And let's grab its partner. That's not right. Oh, this goes to my other snare. I have a 13-inch snare. So this goes here. Okay. I'm back. So the reason I haven't done this in a long time is kind of weird. I'm a little different. The set, not the set before this set, but the set before that set, I had on my kit for about, honestly, I don't remember, 14 years, maybe longer. I know, sounds crazy, right? But they sounded great. I saw no reason to change them. I played with them live, I recorded with them, and they just sounded great. I saw no reason to try them, to change them. The reason I changed them was because a new head had come out at the time by Remo, and I wanted to try them out. The color tones, something interesting going on here. Hold on. The color tone heads. Bear with me. And I saw them in Singapore when I was there for an event. I wonder what that is. And they sounded really good. So I got those, and those were the heads that were on here before this set. And I changed those. This December would be 4 years. There's something funky going on here, but I'll figure it out. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while. So I wanted to try something different, and I know the wonderful folks at Aquarian. I was friends with the founder, Roy Burns. In fact, Roy was an amazing jazz and big band player, if you don't know that. And he used to call me out of the blue and say, "Hey, Dan," and then he'd launch into something about Papa Joe Jones or Speedy Rufus Jones or Max Roach and, people of his era. And it was really an honor to get those out of the blue phone calls. And one time he said, Dan, am I bothering you?" I said, "No." He said, "My wife thinks I'm calling you too much." No, Roy Burns could not call you too much. So the great late Roy Burns started a wonderful company culture that perpetuates still at Aquarian. And I have a snare drum head, 2 snare drum heads from years ago that I liked that were on snare drums. Snare drum heads on snare drums, go figure. And so when it came to wanting to try something new, I went right to the guys at Aquarian. They provided all the heads for the Drum Talk TV 10-year anniversary show. I had a replica John Bonham kit built by TJS Drums, Tom Schultz, green sparkle, 2 copper timpani. He provided the coated heads for that, and he provided heads for A.D. Adams' kit, which was a double bass drum kit. And they just sounded great. So they said, sure, let us, tell us what you want. And I didn't know they're aligned that well, so I asked what would give me, who took my tuning kit? Oh. I asked what will give me a nice attack and help me project, because I love tone, but I love that sort of snap. And they knew exactly what I wanted and said, leave it to us. They set these. I read the box, there's one over there, about this. These, by the way, are the Aquarium Super 2. So 2-ply. There's a 5 mil and a 7 mil. And I'm really excited about this. I'm thinking of bottling a cologne called New Drumhead. Would you wear that? I would wear that. And I'd smell better than I do right now because it's pretty brutal after. This is usually the coolest room in the building. I don't know why. I'm all hot and worked up and everything. Probably just from bass drum head alone. That was work. So here we go. Let me just do this. So that's my drumhead story. After I do this one drum, I will check comments and see what other people are using, what kind of music they play. And if you're not a drummer, go in and into the comments and chime in and tell us what drummers sound you like. And if I happen to know what drum heads they're using, I'll go ahead and let you know, just for fun. Otherwise, just let us know what kind of sound you like. I'm very old school. There's no bottom heads on these, or haven't been since 1983. Old school, a la old Coral Palmer. A lot of Neil Peart stuff was like that. A lot of concert toms back in the day. That sounds great. So that's just my style. That's my jam. That's how I get down. Okay, hold on here. I think I'm missing the boat on one of these. Yeah, I am. All right. Thanks for putting up with me, especially with my back to you. Sorry about that. So I'm thinking of maybe it's time, but the caveat is this is the bigger kit of my 3. One's electronic. The other one's a 3-piece jazz kit that I'll show over there in a couple days. And this one I would want to replace all the same sizes, even if I didn't replace the drums that are not set up at the moment. So right now there's an 8, 10, 13, 14, 16, and 18. And there's a couple, like I said, that aren't set up, a 20 and a 12, I believe. And one other one, I can't remember, it's been so long. And another snare, yeah. So, I think it's time. What brand would I get? I don't know. What drives me crazy, and again, I'm not being judgmental, just for me, it blows my mind how much R&D the drum companies go through, all the craftsmanship. Same thing with the drumhead companies. And then when people stick gels or dots or tabs or tinkers or whatever on them, I just don't get that. But again, that's just me. I like some overtones. I like drums to ring out as long as there's no crazy, ridiculous buzz. So again, that's just my personal taste. Sometimes we see someone play what are referred to as gospel chops, and the playing's amazing, but they're on a 6-piece kit and everything sounds the same. I don't get that. It's all thud, thud, thuddity, thud. Okay, we're getting there. I goofed on this one here. So I don't know, what's your take on that? Do you guys use anything like that, or girls? Anybody use that stuff? I've tried it, and to me it just deadens the sound too much for my taste. I like something to ring out. That's not tuned yet, but I should invite Tim over, have him come help me with this. I haven't done this in a while. As you can tell, Tim, wow, I'm looking at the monitor and it looks way more wrinkled than what I see right here. That's funny. Yeah, hey Tone, how's it going? Yeah, I don't have the drill handy, but I was loosening them. In fact, I'm going to start over with this one. So I was trying to get it even. is what I was doing. I had tightened a couple too tight. And we all know what that does. But again, if you look at these, I mean, they just went on in 2 seconds. Tone, I'm curious. When you use a drill, how do you do it to what would simulate finger tightness all the way around, crisscrossing, and then zap them all just a bit more one at a time? How do you, what's the word? How do you temper that? Like, how do you make sure that it's not going too far? And anyone else watching that does use a drill, I'd love the answer to that too. Only because, honestly, I've never used a drill before. Yeah, you're right, Paul. Is that the Paul Wood that's going to be on our show by any chance? I can't tell by the tiny profile image, and it's even worse on a phone, of course. So you can see the list there, folks. Read through that. Look who we're having. There's some really fun stuff going on. Some old school guys like Roger Earl of Foghat, Jimmy Keegan, more contemporary, Paul Wood, some others, talking to a couple others. Scroll down and read what's going on with our membership side. The Louisville Leopard Percussionists interviewed the founder yesterday, Diane. Amazing program there. I wish they were closer. I'm trying to get them to move to Arizona, but that's not happening. That's okay. We're going to go out there in April, I think, and do a film with them. All right, we're going to start over with this one. Like Tim said, I screwed it up. Thanks, Tim. It's been a while. Oh, thank you, Paul. Oh, cool, it is you. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for also following what we do. I promise the interview will go smoother than the drumhead change. Maybe I'll actually have time to play when I get this last one done, and then you all can help me pick a snare head. I got 3 to choose from. So how often do you folks change heads? If it's not to try something different, what's a routine interval of changing heads? I know some people that change their snare head every night after a show. I don't know if that's necessary. That's okay. But hey, that's just me. What do I know, really? I mean, seriously, obviously. But how often do you change heads? Do you go by sound? Do you go by time? Do you go by how much you played? Maybe you did a session in the studio, so it's time to change. Played a bunch of gigs. Time to change. Do you change them whether or not you can hear the difference because of age? Give me some feedback. Might help me here. I do appreciate everybody's input, though. I want to try the drill thing. Tone, I'd love for you to make a video of that. For not just for me, but to show everybody. That would really be cool. Because I think I'm a little weenie about that. I'm afraid I, just like overkill because I've never done it before. Well, all this twisting has sort of reactivated a little injury I got yesterday from one of my dogs. She just turned my hand the wrong way and all this got pulled. And I'm just starting to feel it again, but that's okay. All right, we're almost there. Then we're going to tune them all up. A couple of them might be close, at least what I like. So some of the music I was going to play to is the 45th anniversary a couple days ago of me seeing one of my favorite bands, for the first time. That was Yes, 1978 in the round at the LA Forum, row 6, seat 32A, I think. I don't remember the seat number. I don't have that ticket either. Or do I? No, I don't. I have earliest ticket I still have is a Rush ticket from 1978. If only I had my Led Zeppelin ticket. Oh, you gotta watch out for the Bermuda Triangle. Man, what is going on with this head? You guys have a gnarly collection of drum keys, so when you drop one, you just, like, I imagine a thing, like for bullets, just pull out another key, like that. Yeah, that's way too high, but that's okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stick it on, we're going to tune it down, then we'll do the snare head. Bear with me just a sec. Okay. Oh, pocket. All right, so I'm going to crank these little ones up higher, and I'll hit them with a stick in a minute so you can hear them. Hopefully you can still hear me. This has an odd number of lows. 8-inch. Now here comes my not so favorite part, and that's where clear heads get marked up. But I learned a few years ago how to get rid of those marks. Does anyone know how? Oh, cool. Baby wipes. When I read that, I said, really? And it actually works. Wow, I keep dropping these things. And I'm sure I'm the only one that's ever done it. Okay, I'm going to pull the snare head out in a moment. Tune this up a little bit. Obviously tune that one down. Wait, that's got this bullshit going on here. Oh, is that up loud? Sorry. Do it elsewhere. There, because I think the two floor toms, even though they're not on the floor, are actually pretty close to how I want them. Whoop, I just got to tune that one up, and I think we're good. And then you'll help me pick a snare head. I'll show you what I have. And I've never had these snare heads, so I don't know what's what. I could read the box, but maybe someone knows, or we'll just throw a dart. All right, I think I'm about there. I still want to bring this one down. All right, here come the snare heads. Ready? This one's going to take some working in and back out again. I can tell them that's okay. for the snares. Let's do it like this. All right. Thanks for putting up with all that nonsense. That's a great question, O'Leary M. Dennis. Okay. I'll get back to that. Let's see. Paul says, if it's me, depends on if I'm playing shows a lot or just practicing, recording anything. I always change them. But if I'm just practicing, I leave them on until they get extremely beat up. Haha. Thanks, Paul. So, O'Leary, yeah, I'm old school. I'm older, and I like that old sound even long before Phil's solo stuff. But yeah, his earlier Genesis years, no bottom heads, and through the 80s and whatnot. And Carl Palmer, same thing. Neil Peart for a long time at Concert Tom, Simon Phillips. A lot of my favorite drummers. I just love that tone of a sound. So this, as opposed to, and this, as opposed to, it's just my preference. I love them to sing and ring out. And yeah, there you go. So this is the one we're not going to select from. This is the modern vintage medium because I have it on my jazz kit. So I'm going to set that one aside. And then we've got a Aquarian coated high velocity and an Aquarian texture coated. Single ply coated with powdered dot. Oh, it's got the dot on the back. See that? I might go for that. Oh, but this one does too. This one's high velocity white. Let me read the box real quick and see what the difference is. I have a box right here. And it says, so high velocity, almost fell and broke something. So texture coated. It says, this is a 10 mil coated single ply head that produces a warm open tone. The texture coated head works well for all styles that don't require an extra hard hitting approach. I like that. And the other one is high velocity series snare heads. These heads are perfect if you hit hard. The high energy is a single 10 mil ply and Aquarian's unique power dot. Material is great for metal, hard rock. The high velocity. I think I'm going to go with the first one first because on this kit I play a lot of prog, which has a lot of dynamics. Speaking of Phil Collins, if you listen to his work on Supper's Ready, whether it's the studio version or the live version, so I think I'm going to go with that. So let's do that real quick. And this is a hammered brass snare, by the way, made by Philip Gelb of Phoenix Drum Company in Scottsdale, Arizona. Why it's not called Scottsdale Drum Company, I don't know. No, I'm just teasing Philip. I know why. It's all about rising from the ashes, taking flight. And this is a really cool drum. It has his patented ghost port, which is this tube. I don't know if you can see that. That's flanged at both sides, has a spiral down the middle. Most drums have a very small air hole. And what happens is when you smack a drum and you do have a bottom head, there's so much pressure in there, it can't escape through there. And that's what creates overtones a lot. Hopefully you can hear me when I turn my head. So this device that's in all his drums helps, it works like a ported speaker basically. He's an audiophile and that's how he came up with it. And this drum is just great. I love this drum. All right. Okay, let's just do that. Who took the rim? Oh, hold on. It's at the base of the gong. And this is black nickel hardware. And if you don't mind, I'm going to do a quick sip of tea. Let me know if I can get you anything. All right, about ready to check comments. Move this mic stand differently out of the way and play. And you know how new heads are. Like, you play on them and then you gotta fix them, then you play on them. It takes a bit, right? Let me fix this. I gotta go around and do this. 1 sec. All right, so on this Yes concert that I saw 45 years ago, and it's actually from the night I saw them. Let's see if I can remember a lot of the songs. There's Siberian Katru, there's Heart of the Sunrise, there's Future Times Rejoice, there's Don't Kill the Whale, there's the medley with Long Distance Run Around the Fish, Perpetual Change, Soon, what else? Something called Roundabout or something like that. There's All Good People. I'm not playing that. there's I think there's Starship Trooper. So I might even just do like little bits and pieces, but I'm open to input, suggestions from that list, just to play something off of that for the 45th anniversary of seeing them this past 6th, a couple days ago. So maybe I'll do Siberian Katru to start with, just to warm up a bit. I'll play some of that one. Okay. Wow, I hear the power. I'll change one thing. was a fun first test drive, and the kit definitely sounds different, and I really like it. I love this snare head. I need to get used to the different adjustments like I was talking about with how it responds with the settings of the dial and the throw off, but it's got a serious snap to it. I want to try my sort of John Bonham setting for just a moment. Let me see. Respond really well, and there's an interesting thing going on beyond these two. These have like an attack, but like a mellow tone to them as well. Turn the snares off so I can hear the tip, but the tone is nice and soft, like mellow, I mean. How's it sound? And I know I'm using one mic, but overall, how does it sound? Hopefully they sound okay. So there you go. First new heads in a while. Had an issue putting these two on. I almost think that these two drum shells swelled over time or something, because it was hard to actually get the collars down to where they should be. But we got it worked out thanks to Tim's advice. Thanks, Tim. Okay, thanks everybody so much. We will see you again real soon. Thanks for putting up with me. Please scroll down, take a look at the info for our membership site. Thanks so much. Over and out.